Okay, wait, let's- yeah. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. It is 6:30 PM. If we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. City Clerk, may I help you take roll call first, please?
Councilmember Williams.
Present.
Reed. Stewart. Frost.
Here.
Davis.
Here.
French. And Mayor Smith.
Here. We do have quite a few items to get through this evening, so I want to kind of tackle the more important ones. First is to approve the bridge loan ratings proposal. City Manager,
Yes,
take this.
Mayor and members of council, in your agenda package tonight is a proposal from Whiteman and Associates. This is for the bridge inspections and replacements posed for this next spring. The administration has talked Whiteman about it, and there will be some careful coordination that has to be done. Coordinate with the other construction projects that we will be having going on in the summer. Albion will see construction like it hasn't seen in a very long time. We know that it'll be an inconvenience, however, it is progress, and so the administration endorses this project and with hope Thompson will go along with that.
Can you speak a little bit to what the load ratings actually mean for our bridges?
I'm sorry.
The load ratings, it says we propose to complete the updated load ratings. So is that, they're just calibrating or?
It is, I think, going to be the determination, helping with this, of the weight capacities that each bridge can handle.
Right, they're gonna kind of go through and inspect all the bridges, make sure, because certain bridges can handle more than others. And so they want to make sure that everything's still going okay. There's also some bridges that are scheduled to be replaced. So I was just to get my voice back, my wife loved it when I lost it, so that's why we need Whiteman to help with that, because we're gonna get engineers to go through them. With everything, with it myself.
Perfect.
Right.
Question.
Yep. That's right.
And so basically the output is, the deliverable is a list of weight capacity, load capacities for these bridges and potentially recommendations.
Yes, and also, it's just not the weights, it's the structures themselves and the longevity of those structures.
Okay.
One of the things under the critical bridge program that the federal government pays for is the underneath the wear that we see. Usually a bridge will fail from underneath, so there are some very critical evaluations done by our engineers. They want to take a look at the cement, how is that deteriorating, how is that holding up? There's a whole host of different structural engineering criteria that they use to help determine. So it's just not weight, it's but other things.
Sorry, and then are there bridges that we have? I'm excuse my ignorance, but how, do we have more bridges than this in town? These are just the older bridges or? That's okay.
The ones that are.
Okay.
They just did the one down on Albion Street, and I tell you, we went up under there. And I took some of the people from State Building down under it with me. And it had pieces, chunks of stuff falling off where the cement had rusted and it was breaking. And the stones and things up under there was coming loose. It was a mess. So was not safe at all.
All right, next, we're gonna be asked to approve of the construction services for the bridge, maintenance. Tied in with the previous item,
Yes.
city manager, okay. Do we have questions for our city manager? So is this, so I'm looking at this, so basically the information that we have in the packet, are these the submitted proposals from different companies that were willing to do this work for Whiteman?
Yes, so there's always, pre-bidding, there's an engineer's estimate, you'll see that on here. And then we take that engineer's estimate and compare it to what the actual marketplace, when we bid out and seek proposals from these companies. In this case, it was a bid. So these are the comparisons, and that is on page 21.
Mhm. So are we gonna be asked to approve of one of these
Uh,
proposals or?
Correctly, but I thought that this was already completed, wasn't it, Jason? The bid was already approved.
So Whiteman made that decision? Okay. And do you know who they decided to go with?
No, I thought council had approved it.
Council approved some of it, yes, and we still, like I said, some of the other divisions. They still need to kind of go through and figure out how much repairs are.
So I've got a question. Does that mean that Whiteman is doing the construction for these bridges?
So Whiteman's our engineer firm.
Okay.
So they'll kind of, with this project, they always oversee all of the projects as far as the engineering aspect. Because they'll be the ones that, well, kind of like with our water, wastewater projects and whatnot. They're kind of like our. Usually have like boots on the ground for engineers that are certain projects. So they'll be the point of contact along with myself, somebody else from the city. And so what Whiteman will do is they'll help us put everything out to bid. So we do it correctly, and then, we'll oversee the project after that.
Okay. And so these other potential, I guess, vendors here, Anline Corporation, CA Hull Company, Davis Construction, those are actual construction companies who'd be possibly carrying out the work.
Yes, so
correct?
it's usually how it goes is be several companies doing different things at the same time. So it's not just like one company that's absolutely everything. There are some where we pay it. Well, there was,
Epoxy is a good example. There is a company that will actually put a subcontractor that will put together the epoxy. There will be a contractor who will specialize in underneath all the masonry. So it will be subcontracted out in different layers. But I think you'll see here that this one company, Anline, was the low bid.
Mhm.
Compared to the engineer's estimate, they'll probably be the recommended company.
Okay, well, I done some looking into some of these companies and it looks like Anline, they specialize in exactly what we need for our bridges. So that was my question. Thank you very much. That was helpful.
So I was just trying to get some clarity, like, were we gonna be using all of these companies, or are they, like I said, like a typical RFP, these are who place bids, and then we're supposed to decide who we give the.
actually, what, side.
Okay.
So they, all the bids go to Whiteman. And we'll usually open them up.
We have any other questions?
So basically what we're gonna, yes,
Go ahead.
and basically what we're looking at to approve tonight is the rough estimate of the bids that we're expecting it to be the deliverable amount. The amount we'll pay,
And Whiteman's proposal of 73,000.
right, so for the engineering side of it and then for the delivery side.
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, next, we're gonna be asked to approve of the following applications that are noted in your packet. We have application for Juanita Solis Kidder for her reappointment to the Arts Commission. Catherine Gigliotti for DDA, and then Tamara Lane for the Recreation Board. Do you have any questions or comments on these? And next, we're going to be asked to approve of the community engagement plan. City manager provided some information in the packet, but I will allow him to explain a little bit more.
So, as you know, we want to engage with our groups, our citizens, all of the, wonderful efforts that help Albion and our community thrive. And so what this is, it's a plan for us to engage with our citizens and those groups, to use our marketing strategies to be better communicators between council, city staff and our citizens. So we're in here is a update and a plan, and we ask council to endorse that.
Questions or comments on the engagement plan? Councilman Reagan.
Yeah, just a couple comments, excuse me. Recently I attended the RRC training over the course of like the last 3 months during the fall. And one of the things that was pointed out was the communication plan was a very vital point in the RRC strategic planning process, making and ensuring that developers have access to the information and we streamline it as much as possible. So it's good to see that this is being updated. So thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Yes.
Well, the only question I have, I think a lot of this is being done. Are there specific focus areas that you want to focus on more so than others? Because it seems like at one time or the other during the year, most of these things are being done. I don't know if they're strategic, but you know, they're being done one way or the
So,
other.
My opinion,
Mhm,
soon we're going to have a new city manager.
mhm,
And what we want to do is make this a living document.
mhm.
This should be part of that new manager's approach to communicating with our citizens
Mhm.
and all of the groups. So what you'll see is maybe because of turnover in leadership in specific groups, you're going to see from year to year, maybe there's going to be more emphasis in the arts council, or maybe one year we might place more emphasis, what I'd like to see, into education, recreation. So it's going to be a living document, which is going to have to be flexible. And we should be sensitive in addressing and staying flexible.
Okay. Okay, it's kind of like just a guide.
Yes,
These are things that should be looked at.
yes.
Councilman Reagan.
I think that's a good idea because a lot of people don't like to come and sit through a council meeting like this. But if you had something that you were speaking about at one certain time about a problem, they would come because if it interests them.
That's correct. And one of the things, and please don't take this wrong, government has never done a very good job of marketing or communicating very well. In recent times, we've realized that, and so the community engagement proposal allows us to become better communicators with our citizens, to get the message across, to be, and to use this term over and over, to be more transparent. We want people to engage with us. So this is again, a living document. It should be practiced and not forgotten about. Let's don't put it on the shelf.
Cheryl Mitchell used to do that when she was.
All right, next we are going to be asked to approve the upgrade for the mobile data terminals, which are in our police patrol cars. Deputy Chief Kern.
Okay. So I've got a couple of things on the agenda tonight. I know that there are other ones, the transportation and the recreation services, you get one.
No.
Later.
No, go ahead, just, we're gonna keep plugging through, so.
Okay. During the council meeting, I'll show you, I brought a couple of the data terminals in that we actually are. So these are extremely old and they're very well computers. They go in our old control cars. They take care of all the dispatching, all the tickets. We are able to run lean on these as well. And one's a 2012, 2014, 17, 18. They're old. And they're in their cars 24/7 and they drive around on our streets 24/7. So they get beat up a little bit. And so we're looking to update them to the new style ones and Panasonic is gonna give us. Not the best, but they're giving us about $2,000. The other one I looking to buy is also, it's a tablet that has a docking station. It's gonna be for our operator in charge, of wastewater and water department. And so what we're doing is Public Works has, since 2019, it's been available to us, but everything that we've ever done through SAW grant that we had, all the infrastructure, sewer, storm sewers, water lines, sidewalks, trees, is all on one program called Esri through GIS. We never paid the $3,500 before to have it, and so now we have the tablets that all have their own cell service through public safety. So all of the utility foremen will have this at their fingertips. Our operator in charge will also have the same system, but within the computer that he can take out of the docking station. So when he's doing the wastewater treatment plant upgrade, the water treatment plant upgrades, they can literally be on scene, have all this stuff there, and then he can go back to the office. Put it into a docking station, and fill out our monthly reports. These are waterproof, they're made to drop. Basically. They're military grade style computers. To where. They fit in a docking station, they're pretty thick. Some of them are missing keys. So the guys have to sit there and. Really hit it just to get the letter M or an S or whatever. And these are so old, they're just. So it's that time to upgrade them all. And get them, so. This would be one where. It comes out like this. And then you can set it up to where it's like a Surface Pro, where it's on task board. Another docking station like this, you can see it's missing a couple keys. But this is one out of the actual control card. And then clicks in. And then this goes in a docking station that's bolted to the floor, swivels back and forth inside the car. So that this price includes not only the new computers, but the docking stations, the charging cords, all the mounting brackets.
And I take it we got the blessing of Director Clark.
Sure did.
All right.
He's the first person in this state.
Right, yes.
Is there any use for the older ones?
I believe research to see how well they held up. That's why I had signed my son was $2,000 back to see how well they can hold up in the field. Other than that, no, I mean, like 120, 7 that we've upgraded to Windows 10. So.
They're just dinosaurs.
Sure.
Yeah.
How many of these do you have and what's their general expected lifespan?
What does the brochure say how long they're gonna last, or how really are they gonna last? I would say 5, 7-ish, somewhere around there. What we're doing is we're getting ones that are upgraded. They have more memory, they have an i7 processor, and so they're able to run more stuff. Instead of these, which are just stock ones that come off the shelf. I think we could probably get at least 5-7 years, maybe a little bit more.
What they do is this also allows, we go on a call for service, leave that call, do a field contact. The officers can use these computers in the car and do all that work from the car instead of having to come back to the station. After it's there, after contacts there. They can do a lot of the work from the car, that way they don't have to come out, they can stay out in the community, they can stay visible, and they can respond to calls. Instead of having their voice come back to the station, I hand them.
The other thing too is all of our GPS runs off these. So every squad car in the entire county has the same style system. And you can see where everybody's at. So if we get sent to Homer or to Marshall to help out, this has a map that comes up, guide you later. So.
And I will say with any form of technology, like if you think about just a traditional laptop. That is not gonna last you more than 5 years without doing some major upgrades. My work computer, they swap those out on me like 3 to 4 years, so. Like Deputy Chief Kern said, can you imagine it being utilized 24/7? And how fast those things will wear down. As long as we got the money for it, fine.
Yep. I got their approval. I sat down with them. It's you again.
All right, so next we're gonna be asked to approve the portable traffic barriers. We'll kind of get through that.
So we actually started with these back in 2000. We kind of put up a back burner. We weren't gonna do as many as we wanted to do. And then unfortunately, more leaks happened. And that's where we're like, you know what? Every year we do the festival, we always have issues with traffic. Always have people going through our barricades. Ionia and Erie is the worst. Since I've been here 26 festivals, it's horrible. And so this time, we want to make sure that these barricades, we basically lock the city down. And then we're actually gonna have all of our dump trucks, pickups, everything behind the barricades, so if someone knows to hit it. Hopefully we get it on YouTube, because these things, when filled full of water, they all connect together. Full of water, the one that we plan on putting across just North Superior Street will be just shy of 11,000 pounds. And then you have 2 big dump trucks behind that, so no one's getting through. And they're also gonna go on the sidewalk too. Basically, we're gonna restrict the entire area just for, I'm using the festival to serve people better. You'll be able to get through with foot traffic. The only place that'll have a car that'll be able to come in and out. You're here at Cass by Superior, we're gonna block it off to the side of the fire truck sideways. So in case we have to get anything downtown, another fire truck, ambulance or whatever, we can move that fire truck quickly. But other than that, no one's getting through our stuff. So that way, when we have events, whether it's we do Juneteenth, the one thing we always see, kids playing, everything else, people lined up on the street, and cars going right down the middle. And one of these days, it's gonna happen. Kids are gonna come out, and a car is gonna hit a child. And so that's why with any of these, whether it's the festival, 4th of July, any event at all, we can deploy them off our trailers, put them up as a perimeter, fill them full of water, use fire hydrants or the fire truck. And then when we're done, we simply let them drain out, and you can pick them up by hand, put back on the trailer.
Are we sharing the cost of these?
So I asked DDA, they would do 5,000. I've asked the chamber, I'm going on Monday night to ask their board for 5,000. I just have to get with Shane at the Community Foundation and try to hit him up 5,000 as well.
Councilman Williams?
Thank you, Mayor. Internally, which department would this be coming out of?
So what we probably do is just kind of Director Clarkson got spread it between streets, public safety, parks.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talked to Chief Kip years ago about this. And it's just unfortunate that these are things that we have to think about. Because when it does come to domestic attacks, this is the most common method used now. And we don't want to have that in our community, so I'm glad we're moving forward. with These purchases. Thank you. Unless anybody else has any other questions. Deputy Chief Kern. All right, so given the time, I am going to open it up for public comment. We have anybody in the gallery that would like to stand and address council, you may do so at this time. Just give us your name, address, and 3 minutes is yours.
Mary Slater, South Superior, is this appropriate for me to talk about this right now? So I'm sort of here representing the sister city of Albion, you're all familiar with, we've been active for more than 25 years. Our committee has for years talked about some way to make our relationship more visible throughout Albion. We've talked about what we might do with stuff in Plaza, that's before, right? So now, in terms of the renovations, it seems like this is a very good opportunity to include something. I know you're just in the very initial stages, but I would ask that when you actually get to planning what's gonna go in there, that we could partner with you or be part of the committee to decide something in the Stauffer Plaza that represents our sister city relationship.
Thank you.
That's
Anybody else like to say and address council? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Work.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned 6:55 PM. Be back in 5 minutes.